Hello, this is Kevin Williams and Alan Majeski of Legal Dynasty, and today we are joined with Joseph Amatrano. And Joseph is owner and managing member of Action Law Group, and Joe has close to 20 years practicing personal injury law. And today we're going to talk to him about how we're generating qualified leads for his firm and the impact it's having on his firm. So first off, thank you, Alan and Joe, for being here. How's everybody doing today?
Great. Doing well, thanks, Kevin.
Yeah, great. Now, Joe, do you want to give a little background on your firm and how long you've been in the field, a little background on yourself?
Absolutely. I was with another firm prior for about 19 years, and one of the partners and I split off and started Action Law Group, which is a new firm as of January 1, 2016. And this past year, we started a new firm and wanted to explore, obviously, some different marketing possibilities. We focus on personal injury.
Now, when you were at the other firm, do you know how they marketed the firm services? Did you market yourself, or was it the firm handled that, or what types of strategies did you use?
Sure, it was just purely word of mouth marketing.
And then when you started Action Law Group, what initially did you plan? Like, how did you envision that in your head to market that firm services, the new firm?
We started with a plan to market it purely SEO, which is search engine optimization, and we thought that would be sufficient to get our name up top. And we didn't find the results were that spectacular, so we started looking for different other opportunities to lead us in different direction of first just making initial contact with clients and and ultimately signing them.
Yeah. So how long did you try SEO for before we all got in contact with you?
I believe we did SEO for about 6 months, and we started looking around for other opportunities. Obviously, we had a full book of business that we were managing as well, so it wasn't that we were dead. We were still busy as well, so it was tough to manage everything. But ultimately, we met up with Legal Dynasty, and they started a program of AdWords that allowed us to reach a different client base, which has turned out to be quite fruitful.
Yeah, so you found your way to us, and let me ask you, were you skeptical to try something else regarding search engines again? With the bad experience with SEO beforehand?
I was a little skeptical, but I was willing to give it a shot. And Kevin at Legal Dynasty made it very well. He was very welcoming, and it appeared to be not no risk. There's always a risk when you're spending money, but limited risk. And he believed in what he did, so I was anxious to hop on board and give him a test. And he gave me every opportunity to leave, which I think is what made it so genuine.
Yeah, that's one thing that we like to do is, give you a low barrier to entry and not put on too much risk to initially. There's definitely some risk because, we're putting up risk too as well. So what we're doing is we're advertising on the search engines. Can you explain a little bit how it's different than your experience with SEO? We sat down with you, we reviewed your business, developed landing pages for you, the ad campaign, and, I think right within that first week, the leads started to come in.
Absolutely, and the nice thing about it is we're able to track and be a little more direct as to what leads to what. As far as SEO, you're kind of in an amorphous area that obviously when you take a client in, you can ask them, how did you hear about us? How did you find us? And so we had some limited results, but you're never really fully sure if the client's coming to you from your SEO based on your budget. Are you spending $5,000 a year and getting 5 cases, or are you spending $5,000 a year and getting 10? You don't really know the answer to that, and I feel like that with direct marketing, you do get a little more direct correlation, whether it's good or bad. But there is some accountability, some tangible things that you can talk about.
Yep. On top of that is, it's accountable. It's results-based marketing. You can go back and look at your performance over the previous months, and, we're measuring everything. We're measuring every phone call, every form inquiry. Everybody who comes through the campaign gets measured, so we can report back to you, okay, this is how many leads we brought you. And then you could then take that information and say, okay, out of these leads, how many turn to cases, and what are the quality of the cases there. So that's information that's important for us to get to you. Do you remember how quickly you started seeing results, Joe?
I believe the first week there was no results, and then within the second week I started getting results immediately. I think maybe the first week the pages had gone up, but it was about 10 days.
10 days.
So, it was, to me, that was quick. I didn't know what to expect. I had never done one of these campaigns. So for me, I was shocked that, I was used to SEO that who knows, it could be a month, could be 2 months, so absolutely within 10 days, I'd say.
Yep. That's fantastic. And it actually sounds like this past week you've had a very busy week as well. So it seems like it's gaining momentum too, because we're in there tweaking things, making sure that we're allocating resources to the most productive parts of the campaign, so we can wisely spend your dollars where they're going to produce. Do you want to talk a little bit about this past week? Sounds like you've had few calls and a few meetings as well, right?
Absolutely. This past week has been unprecedented. I believe we got 3 or 4 leads, of which all of them were high quality. All of them had responsive phone calls. I met with each of the clients. They were all real people who hadn't called 5 or 10 other lawyers who were initially ready to meet with a lawyer who needed somebody. I pride myself on being responsive to clients, and I think that we met and there was an immediate shine both to me and me to them. And I can't say enough that I believe it was a good experience, and that they're good clients that are responsive to what I need from them, and I'm obviously very responsive to whatever they need from me. There's a trusting relationship.
That's great. That's great to hear. Those are the types of people we want to bring to you too.
Joe, I have a quick question. I know you started in October 21st, so it's been about 2.5 months. In those 2.5 months, Joe, do you know around how many cases you signed up?
I'd say probably 16 cases.
Wow.
Great. That's great. And I think that's, it's important to point out that's with the limited ad spend as well. Because there's more search volume in the area. We could increase that too. If, when you have the capacity, we can certainly discuss that. But that's with a limited ad spend in a certain geographic area.
No, I think one thing that's important to point out is that you are amazing. You're amazing on the phone, and you're super aggressive. And I think that is a big reason why you're having so much success. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Clients, when someone stops their life to call you, you almost have to stop yours. And if you're not willing to do that, we all know that there are times when you're with your family, you can't stop. Those times are priceless. You have to adjust your business plan. But when you're available and you're on, people want you to see them soon. They want you to be there. And that's the first step. They say you have one chance to make a first impression. There it is.
Alan, do you have any other questions?
Yeah, I think one last question, Joe. I think a lot of other attorneys have issues when go to other companies. There's a customer service they receive. Can you comment a little bit about customer service you get from us?
Your customer service, yeah. Whenever we call or have a question, it's answered very rapidly. I haven't had any problems with customer service. You could take me out to lunch a little more, but we can discuss that offline.
We need more kosher restaurants.
And more, yeah. I need some more kosher restaurants, whatever. I think that's on your end. But absolutely, in all seriousness, whenever there's a question, or if I don't understand analytics, which as you can imagine, I'm trying to be a lawyer, and analytics is something I need to understand. Kevin's there if there's a question about a case or something. Alan's there. You guys make a great 1-2 punch.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, appreciate that, Joe. Yeah, that concludes it. And Joe, again, we appreciate you taking the time to speak with us today, and we do value your business.
Take care, guys.
You got it. Thank you,
Take
Joe.
care, Joe. Thank you.